Commercial lease. Are you opening a new pharmacy or buying an existing one? Then your commercial lease could make or break your business. Here are some helpful tips to give you a general idea of what to look for in a lease agreement. Lease term. If you're opening a new pharmacy, you may prefer a shorter initial lease, typically 2 to 5 years, with renewal options, giving you the flexibility to continue if the location proves successful. But if you're buying an existing pharmacy, to align with the loan's amortization period, your lender will likely require a long-term lease that includes renewal options. Lease rate. Have you compared the lease rate with similar locations in your area? Be careful. Some leases increase sharply every year or two. Try to set clear, reasonable rate increases right in the agreement. And if your lease has multiple renewal terms, the third one usually refers to a fair market price, because rent that far ahead is hard to predict. Next up, exclusivity. You don't want another pharmacy opening next door. Make sure your lease includes an exclusion clause, protecting your business from direct competition in the plaza or building. Now, let's talk about money. Gross rent versus base rent. Do you know the difference between these terms? And what about those extra charges if it's not a gross lease? T&O, taxes and operating. TMI, taxes, maintenance, insurance. CAM, common area maintenance. One of these can add up. Review them carefully to understand the full cost of the rent, including additional rent, parking fees, and any other charges. Lease versus sublease. Do you know the difference between these terms? If you're offered a long-term sublease, make sure it's legally tied to a valid main lease. Don't sign a lease that might disappear if the landlord and primary tenant fall out. Parking spots. Are they paid or free? Utilities. Do you know who's covering utilities? Lease incentives. Some landlords offer lease incentives, like a few months rent-free. Don't be shy, negotiate before you sign. Usage, and think ahead. If you plan to add a medical clinic or an addiction treatment clinic, or bring in another health professional later, make sure your lease allows for that kind of usage from the start. Demolition clause. In some leases, landlords can end your lease early if they plan to redevelop the property. Talk to your lawyer and your lender about this, as it can be very crucial and even become a deal breaker. Arbitration clause. In case there's a dispute during the lease renewal, this clause can help protect your interests without the need to go to court in most cases. It's a valuable option to consider including in your lease. Lease termination. The lease termination clause should not allow the landlord to kick you out except for reasonable reasons like non-payment of rent or breaking lease terms. Always read those clauses carefully so you know your risks. Lease assignment. Some leases allow the landlord to refuse assignment at their sole discretion. Be careful. When it's time to sell your business, you'll need the landlord to act reasonably. Ensure the lease stipulates that they cannot unreasonably withhold consent to an assignment. A commercial lease isn't just a document, it's a foundation for your business. I'm Hany Eltalawy. I have many years of experience in the pharmacy real estate market for buying and selling pharmacies. This video just to offer helpful tips, but it's highly recommended to seek legal advice before signing a lease. Don't go into it alone. Let's talk. I can connect you with trusted legal advisors. Let's make sure your lease supports your pharmacy, not strangles it.